Welcome to GTC's Teaching Tidbits. Each episode, we explore a teaching technique, tip, practice, or idea from faculty for faculty. Our current set of episodes focuses on teaching hybrid blended courses. And today we have joining with us from the Physical Sciences Department, Amy Daniels. Welcome, Amy. We're so glad to have you today.
Thank you, Rachel. Good to be here.
Would you tell us a little bit about your background and the formats in which you've taught?
Well, I've been at Greenville Tech since 2007. I started teaching the Geographic Information Systems program. And when that sunset, I moved over to the Computer Technologies. And I taught there for several years. I served as assistant dean for about 5 years. And then now I've moved into physical sciences, teaching geology and physics, and still teaching some computer classes. I've taught face-to-face, online, hybrid, just about every which way, labs, no labs. Enjoy all of it. So.
Oh, that's wonderful. You have quite the range of experience here. And we're really glad to have you with us to share your tidbit today. Our first episode in the series highlighted the importance of communication, especially communicating with students clearly and early and often. And then in episode 3, Yolanda mentioned several tools that she uses for student communication, including Google Meet. And so today, Amy is here to share in more detail about using Google Meet to communicate with your students. Amy, I'm going to turn it over to you to share your teaching tidbit.
Okay. All right. So I've been using Google Meet pretty much since I started teaching online. I did use Zoom for a little bit, but what I like about Google Meet is very, very simple to use. It connects directly with the student's Gmail account. So when you schedule a meeting with them, it shows up in their Google Calendar. So I like that. And then the meeting recordings are stored in Google Drive, all on the Greenville Tech Google site. So there's no reason for them to create a different account or anything like that. And most of the things that you can do in Zoom, you can do in Google Meets as well. And it's, it's kind of part of our Google environment, so to speak. So typically what I do is first I announce whatever meeting we're going to have in my announcements, and I give them a link to the meeting in the announcement. And when they click on it, it takes them right over into the Google Meet environment. The way that I create these Google Meet sessions is I simply go into my calendar, click on a day, add a title, let's say Geology 101 meeting. Okay. And then I pick a time. Let's just say 2:30 to 3:30, that's fine. And you can set these up as repeating meetings or just one at a time. I just do them one at a time. And then you just click this button, Add Google Meet Video Conferencing. When you do that, it brings up a little link here, okay, that you can copy, right? And you can change some details here. You can add a description, you can add attachments, things like that. But you can also just copy, you click on that link there, click the copy button. I always just say copy link address. And then I come back over to my announcements in my class, and I simply create an announcement and post the meeting link to the announcement. And when the students click on that link, it simply opens Meet within the web browser, and then they can just click join. Okay, so you don't have to specifically invite anybody to the meeting. You simply post the link to the meeting. Another thing that I have used this for is for advising, and I will, in this case, only invite someone and not post the link. And when I invite them, it sends an email to their Google Gmail account. You can also invite people outside of Greenville Tech by using their email. whatever it happens to be. So when we are in the meeting, okay, you can either choose to use video or not. It's very simple to record. There's this little dot, dot, dot over here. You click on that and, well, let's see. The pictures are kind of obscuring. Let me see if I can move this around here. Okay. So you click on record meeting, okay, and it starts to record the meeting. And then when you're done recording, you just, when you finish the meeting itself, it'll finish recording for you. So I'm going to leave the meeting. You left it. And it will automatically, since you had hit record, it will automatically create a recording. And that recording is stored in your Google Drive locations under Meet Recordings. When the recording is finished, you simply can copy a link to that recording, which is what I do. And they usually have the little video icons, you can tell. And it posts the transcripts there too from any chats that happen during the meeting. So it automatically transcribes those to a document that you can open. But you simply just right click on it and say, copy the link, add a shortcut. Let's see, get shareable link is what I use. Click get shareable link. You copy that link location. And then I go back to my course, and I have in my course content, I usually create a folder under course content for my Google Meet recordings. So when they go in there, they can see all their Google meetings. They can go back and review them. And it's pretty simple. You just, build a web link there and copy and paste the Meet URL, the recording URL right there. And that's how I use it. The tool isn't terribly complex. You don't have a lot of the nice things you have in Collaborate, like you have, the whiteboarding and all of those fancy things. It is a very simple tool, but it's effective when what you're doing is talking to the students, reviewing material with them, answering questions for them. The students can chat with each other there. So I find it, the simplicity of it and the integration with the Google Classroom, with the Google Calendar and emails to be really convenient for me, and it's easy to use. So. Rachel?
Oh, thank you so much, Amy. Now, I know people will be wondering with Google Meet, does it have some of the other features that you see in Collaborate and Zoom, like polling or breakout groups?
No, it does not. There's a chat function.
Okay.
You can post, you can put attachments in there. You can put a URL or a link to a web document in the chat. And so there's some of that. There's no whiteboarding. Okay, so it's a simple, really video conferencing tool. It doesn't have all those features that Collaborate has.
Right. But I think that's okay because you emphasize several ways in which you use it that you don't need some of those other aspects of the conferencing tools for those practical purposes.
Yes, and if I were using this if this was for a hybrid course specifically, and I really needed more of the those other tools, I would probably switch to Collaborate. But with my online class, so much of the work is online, and so this tool is really for me to communicate with them and answer the questions in real time and things like that. And for advising, I found it to be very helpful too.
Yeah, I love that you mentioned advising. So yet another option that might be a little bit easier for faculty than setting up a whole Collaborate session for advising, offers them some of the same tools there.
Right, I can share the advising screen with the student. They can see, what I'm doing on the planning tool. So it's very helpful.
That's great. And this is yet another tip that utilizes resources already available to faculty and students here at GTC, which is another big plus and helpful thing for our faculty. So thanks for sharing that teaching tidbit today, Amy.
Not a problem. And if anybody wants to email me, amy.daniels@gvltec.edu, and I will answer any questions.
Yes, great. I put it up here on the screen if they want to continue the conversation with you. And of course, if you have questions you'd like answered or specific topics you'd like to see covered, please send me an email at rachel.cobb@gvltec.edu. Also, again, if you have a teaching tidbit worth sharing or you know someone who does, please let me know. That is this week's teaching tidbit, and we'll see you next time.